run out of fuel.
Yeah, and the one thing, Larry, that bothers me about that is these cars, everybody seems to have a really low gear. They're really working the motors hard, turning them 9,000 RPM. That burns a lot of fuel.
Darrell, you're exactly right. This year at Dover, I think the guys are running more gear than ever before, and that's definitely going to affect your fuel mileage. And again, the other thing is NASCAR has really gotten real strict on the fuel cell size, which again, you keep talking about the best way to go farther on fuel is have more than anybody else, and that's also a factor this year. So I really look for these guys to come to pit road and have to make another stop before the end of this race. So it's going to make it real interesting who gets the best breaks as far as getting as far as you can, getting on and off pit road. It's going to become strategy and pit crews before the end of the day.
It makes this a difficult time of the race for drivers and spotters because some of the cars that were slower earlier in the race suddenly have new tires and they come firing out of the pits like Superman, and they're fast.
Yeah, and you got new tires on, you're coming down the back straightaway, and some guy decides he's going to pit right up the middle of 3 and 4. You're closing at about 25 mile an hour faster. You run into the back of him.
And Kyle Petty in the 45 car been running in the top 10 here. He's on pit road. He's one of the first leaders to come to pit road.
Yeah, he was backing up, Larry. He needed to come to pit road. Matt.
Well, DW, I spoke with his crew chief, Stephen Lane. He told me he would have liked to have kept Kyle out there to about lap 220, but he just felt like he couldn't because they were starting to lose too much time. As Kyle slowly creeps into his pit, Stephen Lane told me they were going to make an air pressure adjustment, try to open up the stagger a little bit, half a pound in the right rear to try to help fix Kyle's tight in the middle. As the guys come around to the left side of the car, remember we told you the last time Kyle Petty went to Victory Lane and Winston Cup competition was right here in Dover, and he is good to go.
His Petty teammate John Andretti in and out as Mike Skinner is having a strong run here today, and Robbie Gordon duke it out.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Skinner picking up that new crew chief last week, Chris Carrier. Now, Scott Eggleston, who was his crew chief, still on board as a team manager. But I just think Mike and Chris Carrier will come together and gel because they worked with each other on Andy Petrie's Busch car before.
And I got to tell you something about Robbie Gordon. I do believe this is going to play out in the end. He stays with this team long enough. They get a handle on Robbie Gordon, get control of his emotions. He can drive a race car. We all know that. I think if they get him in the right environment, he could be somebody to deal with for the year's over with.
I think he's the closest thing we have to Tim Richmond in Winston Cup racing today.
I mean, I love Robbie. He's a good guy. He just needs to get control of his
See, Mike Skinner, he's waving his hand. He's wiggling the car. He's out of fuel right here on the backstretch. He was waving his hand, trying to tell these guys, hey, I need to get to pit road.
Okay, 4 tires of fuel, no adjustment. 400.
Jeremy Mayfield is in, and so is Nadeau.
Right now, I'm coasting right now. Speed are good. Pull in, pull in. Hold the brake, hold the wheel straight.
Green flag pit stop.
He told him he was coasting. He was out of fuel. The motor was not running.
And Larry, just like you said, I think these guys are trying to work that pit strategy, get into that window, but that's what can bite you right there.
And with the straightaways even being banked here, with the pickup, the fuel pickup over in the right rear corner, the fuel even runs away from the pickup on the straightaways being banked 9 degrees. One thing I noticed on Mike Skinner's car, guys, when he came in out of fuel.
Oh, trouble. Kenseth in the wall between 3 and 4.
No caution.
And he's trying to get to pit road, but he's cut a tire down.
Yeah, he'll make it to pit road. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Yeah, that's a pretty good lick right there.
Oh, he's killed the right front.
And it's another right front, I believe. I tell you something.
Up on the right side, we're looking for damage then.
Yeah, you got a lot of damage, bud.
Bobby Labonte in the 18 car, he got his lap back, but what a tough break for people like Mike Skinner, Kyle Petty in particular, that already made their green flag stop.
And this is what you hope for when you're staying out there that other lap or two. Get that caution at somebody else's expense. But I'm worried. That's the 3rd right front I've seen in the last 10 or so laps go down.
And our number 2 point man, Matt Kenseth, has gone to the garage. Tough day for Roush Racing. Mark Martin swept up in somebody else's crash, and look what happens to Matt Kenseth here.
Going into turn 3. I mean, he was in there.
That was a hard lick. When you hit the wall here, you hit it a ton.
Just about the time he was going to turn into the corner, right front tire went down, and into the wall he goes.
From Elliott Sadler.
There he goes. bam, right there.
When you blow a right front tire,
baby, that hurts.
You can turn the wheel all you want, it's going to go straight.
Picks up speed.
Leader to the pit road.
Dick Berggren.
Sterling Marlin started this race in 27th position. He has worked his way all the way up to 5th prior to this round of pit stops. They're going to take a round in the left rear, and that's all they're going to do to this race car. And let's go to Matt. Leader and rookie Jimmie Johnson, who took over the lead on lap 145. He said the car began to get a little loose on lap 153. But they're not going to make any chassis adjustments as the jack man and 7th grade school teacher Chris Sanderson drops the jack to Steve Burns.
Well, Jeff Gordon did get a chassis adjustment, Matt. It took 4 tires, 1 round in the right rear. He said he picked up a very bad push. The track has gotten extremely tight.
I tell you guys, the rookie driver's doing his job on pit road. That rookie pit crew, Jimmie Johnson, the 48 car, they did the job as well.
55 car over there, he come in running 4th, and he killed the engine. They couldn't get it started. They had to push him out. Finally got it fired. Oh, Jimmie Johnson he's just got so much confidence. That whole team does. They can't do anything wrong. Only thing he can do wrong is, yeah, look at him. You looking good, baby. You had flames on that 48 car. Tell him how fast he did.
See a little celebration here.
You hot, you hot. There they are. 7 guys that do the job for Jimmie Johnson on pit road every time he comes in for 4 tires and fuel.
Matt Kenseth came into Dover on the verge of perhaps becoming only the 61st driver to ever lead the Winston Cup point standings. That will have to wait for another day. A lot of damage to the right front of the DeWalt Ford. Jeff Hammond.
Guys, we were starting to talk this before that problem with Matt Kenseth. Mike Skinner came down pit road and was out of gas. So what they did, they got the 4 tires changed, got him full of gas, but before the car could get cranked, they actually stuck a can of ether down inside the cowl area on a pole and got the car to refire itself. If you look at coming in, you'll see it right here. There it is. And they're actually putting ether in there to help the car crank up. It got him refired and on his way. Unfortunately, the caution did put him 2 laps down, but he's got a very good car here today. Maybe he can get those 2 laps back. Matt Jokum, I think you're with Matt Kenseth.
Actually, Steve, down here, we've just caught up. He's talking to Robbie Reiser. Team hard at work. Matt, what happened?
We just blew right front tire. You know, it's just a product of Dover. You have that happen once in a while. I didn't think we were overly aggressive, you know, on air pressure or camber, and my car was extremely on the loose side. So I was surprised as anybody we blew on as loose as we were, but just a bad break. We had to come from the back. We had to run hard all day, and just bad luck.
Matt, you came in here second in points. Can you get the car back on the racetrack?
I don't know. I think we could get it back out, but it's a long ways to make it out there. So we're probably 100 laps away from getting it out. So if there's not a big wreck or something like that, I don't know if we'll make it back out or not.
Jimmie Johnson leads Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, Sterling Marlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Dale Jarrett on the restart. Jerry Nadeau on the left of your screen tried to get a lap back from the leader, not successful.
Man, there was a big gaggle of them right there down in turn 1. The 73 car is just kind of caught in the middle there, and he can't get out of people's way.
And Darrell, we certainly hope it don't happen, but it happens a lot at Dover. Cautions breed caution.
Yeah, and watch this, Larry. Down on that restart, the 73 car, he gets shoved up just a little bit here, and man, all of a sudden, here they come. What do I do now? What's the spotter saying when that's happening?
Hold your position.
Right.
That's Tony Raines making his first Winston Cup start here this afternoon.
About all you can tell a driver in a case like that is hold your line.
And he did. He's given a good account of himself in his Winston Cup debut.
Look at Jimmie Johnson on that 48 car. He's already pulled out almost a second lead here with Jeff Gordon in the 24. Of course, he's having to battle Jerry Nadeau in the 10, who right now is 3 laps down.
Yeah, that 48 car don't need anything, baby. It's just out of here.
Now, Bobby Hamilton was up among the front 5.
Yeah.
Now he finds himself in 16th position. Matt, what happened?
Well, Mike will check in with his crew chief, Jimmy Alledge. Jimmy, what happened?
Well, we were about a lap away from pitting anyway, and the caution come out, and ride around here with the banking on the straightaway like it is. The fuel running right from the pickup and the thing run out of gas. So by the time we got to pit road, it was out of gas. And had a good pit stop, but no fuel. So we had to push it off. We got a really good car, and I want to thank all the guys in the motor shop. They really stepped it up and worked really hard to give us a good piece this weekend. Bobby's doing a good job. Pit crew's doing good. We just keep it full of gas and don't make no more dumb mistakes. We'll get back up there.
He was 10th here last fall. Bobby Hamilton Sr. was. His best finish here, Mike, was a second back in 1995, the fall race.
And the most disgusting feeling for a crew chief is to have something like that happen, because you know what? He just beat himself. And now enough competition.
And now Hamilton's got to fight his way up from the back, as so many drivers have already done today.
That last shot we just saw, you saw Ward Burton in the 22 car pulling out of the garage. Matt Yoakum was telling me while we were at break, running so bad, they decided to do a little mini test session. Let's go to the garage, change front springs, front shocks. Let's see if we can learn something, because we have to come back here in September.
This joint will do that to you. You can be so bad here that you don't even want to go on the racetrack. You're going to have to do something to this car, or I'm parking it.
Let's add that Dick Trickle's car has gone to the garage, joining Joe Nemechek, while Steve Park, who was involved in that lap 124 crash with Ryan Newman, has repaired his Chevrolet, and he's back out on the track.
Yeah, and Ward Burton, he's not had very much luck at this racetrack. He's never even had a top 5 finish. So, again, if they can find out something today, then they can use it for the future.
And see, a lot of people don't like to come here and test, because you really don't get a good test here until the rubber gets down on the racetrack. Well, if you're here by yourself, all you do is wear out tires. Today, race conditions, great time to try things.
2 seconds. That's the margin from Jimmie Johnson to Jeff Gordon, then Ricky Rudd, Sterling Marlin, and in 5th, Dale Jarrett.
Still there, still there.
Dick Berggren.
Still there.
Well, Jarrett started in 31st spot, Mike, and he has soldiers his way toward the front all day long. This morning, Garth Finley, his engineer, and Doug Yates, his engine builder, and I had conversation, and both those guys were incredibly optimistic. They said that at Charlotte for the last 2 weeks, the cars just weren't right, but they were very confident of today. And today I just talked to Todd Parrott, his crew chief, and Parrott sort of winked at me and said that they're going to make little tiny changes on it from here until the end of the race. DJ's got a chance to win this in car number 88.
Yeah, Dick, he likes this race car. This is the same car that he was on both poles for last year. I tell you, a car that has crept up there racing in the top 10. Jeff Burton in that 99 car. We got a battle for second right here, though, with Ricky Rudd in the 28, Jeff Gordon in the 24, and, of course, Kyle Petty in the 45 making that scheduled green flag stop, but the caution flag bit him. He's up there trying to get back with these guys, maybe catch that caution, get one of those laps back. But I was talking about Jeff Burton. He started in 33rd. He was on the verge of going a lap down earlier. He has fought his way back to 8th position in that 99 car.
He was a lap down, Larry.
Yeah,
he got it back when Mark Martin
crashed on the backstretch.
Boy, got a heck of a battle for second. But Ricky just gets down under Jeff, but it's so hard to make that pass. Right here, coming off, Jeff's got to give him the line, got to give him some room, or all Ricky can do is back out, and Jeff beats him down the straightaway.
Speaking of back, Earnhardt Jr. is backing up.
Yeah, he
restart. He's fallen back about 12.
He looks like he did earlier in the day.
Now, just a lap or so ago,
oh my goodness,
Spencer, that is, just in front of Earnhardt.
That could have damaged the nose on that car, and I don't know. Maybe we can get a look at it, Larry, and see if it hurt it.
And there's that hand. We've seen that finger before pointed out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Jarrett trying it underneath Sterling Marlin.